La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
Imagine the country you live in being hit by less and less fertile soil, making crop growing increasingly difficult.
Sandstorm conditions prevail in the Indian capital, and now there are fears of early desertification of the region.
Desertification and erosion are both concerns.
Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Because of that thriving life, everything grows. We eat food, other animals grow, everything happens because soil is rich. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. We talk of carbon, we talk of emissions, we talk of pollution at various levels. Before all that, we need to address the most important concern, because there is a misunderstanding in the world. There is a campaign to project civic issues as environmental issues. Right now, if plastic bags are floating around in New York City, this is not an ecological issue, this is a civic issue. If our rivers are polluted, this can be fixed. In 1 or 2 years, if you set up the necessary purification plants and enforce the law, these are civic issues which can be fixed with a little bit of law enforcement and awareness. But the real issue is soil.
The United Nations agencies with enough scientific data, they're clearly saying that we have soil, agricultural soil for another 80 to 100 crops on the planet. This is 45 to 60 years is what we have agricultural soil. We are calling this as soil extinction. You've heard of dinosaurs going extinct, you have heard of dodos going extinct, but this is soil extinction is what we are looking at. The real problem is soil extinction because in the last 30 years, 80% of the biomass insects have disappeared from the planet, 80%. This is a suicide, this is a real suicide.
So in 45 years' time or 50 years' time, there will be serious food crisis on the planet, it's inevitable. When food crisis comes, well, whoever has the biggest guns will come and take the food. And the chaos and the suffering that we will create for populations around the world is unimaginable. Don't think only the poor people will die. They will kill the rich and rich will die. So this is not to paint a dark picture. This is a reality which has happened many times in our history, and once again it is being predicted by top scientists in the world. So what are we going to do?
Why is soil going away? Where is it going away? See, what is sand becomes soil if you add organic content to it. What is soil becomes sand if you take away all the organic content from it. If you go into a rainforest, the organic content in the soil will be over 70%. In normal agricultural soil, the minimum organic content that has to be there to call soil soil is 3 to 6%. 3% is the most minimum. But today, for example, in India, 62% of India's soil, the organic content is 0.5% or below that. So literally we are on the verge of desertification. This is across the world, this is not in one country. In United States, the way the land has been used in terms of herbicides, weedicides, pesticides, well, we need to understand nearly 82 to 86% of biodiversity is within the first 12 inches of topsoil. When we plow with machines like tractors plow to a depth of 9 to 12 inches and leave it open, this means we are destroying the biodiversity completely. What biodiversity means is, it's the humus in the soil. The word human comes from the word humus. That means this is actually living soil.
So it's very, very important that soil becomes the focus, because if you put 1/3 to 40% of the land, especially in the tropical world, under tree shade, your climate change could be easily reversed. Land is getting hot simply because it is plowed or it is paved. Land has to go under vegetation, whatever kind, natural grasses, bushes, trees, whatever, because all these are serving the ecological activity. And we must also understand soil is a very significant carbon sink, and soil is the largest water soak on the planet, and soil is the basis of all life. This 36 to 39 inches of topsoil on average around the planet is the basis of 87% of life on this planet. To keep the biodiversity alive is the most important thing that we need to do right now. Unless we start now, this will not happen. As a part of this, we are unfolding a movement called Conscious Planet to bring maximum number of people. Right now, it looks like climate change, ecology, all these are playground for the rich and elite. No, this must change. Individual human beings should become conscious about the danger that we are facing. Ecological issues must become election issues, and political parties must give significance to ecological issues in their manifestos. Governments must be elected for their concern for ecological issues. This needs to happen.
So we are seeing how to bring about a policy recommendation for 192 countries. The rally is starting on 21st of March, which is the equinox day in London. And from London, it's a single lone motorcycle riding through 24 countries, 30,000 kilometers, reaching the Kaveri basin, where we are on ground working in a river basin which is 83,000 square kilometers, and 5.2 million farmers work here.
The very body that we carry is soil. Without soil being rich and well, this body and every other life cannot be well. So in terms of ecology, in terms of climate change, the most important thing is that we need to have a conscious approach as to how we manage our soil, how we rejuvenate our soil, how we revitalize our soil. This conscious approach and creating a conscious planet is what is most important. Without involving large mass of people, this will not become a reality because we are democratic nations. Unless people say this is what they want, that is not going to happen. So let's create a conscious planet.
Let us make it happen.
La 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 la.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
Breathe in, stretch out as we meet the world's most famous yoga guru.
His spiritualist techniques have gained him a following of millions across the world, including celebrity fans like Will Smith, Matthew McConaughey, and Josie here, who absolutely loves him. And we welcome Sadhguru. Welcome. Thank you very much.
Namaskaram, good morning to you.
Most watch yogi on YouTube, 2.5 billion views in the last year alone. Is this, do you think, because we are all now looking for some kind of inner peace?
Peace can only be inner, or all human experience can only be inner. Whether pain or pleasure, joy or misery, agony or ecstasy only happen within you. You have never experienced anything happening outside of you. So right now, people looking for peace, people looking for joy or in pursuit of happiness is like the case of a potato farmer who went to pluck apples but started digging the ground till the tree came down on him. That is the human situation right now, because we think we can squeeze some experience out of the world. No, human experience only happens from within. So it is not just because of the pandemic, as people are thinking. It's always been there. Human beings are not suffering because of the pandemic. Unfortunately, pandemic has taken lives.
Many lives.
Many lives, over 6 million lives, okay? That's not small. Almost everybody has lost somebody that they knew, somebody who was dear to them.
literally everyone, including myself. So that is a different aspect. But human suffering is not about the pandemic. Human suffering is essentially because people do not know how to handle their own faculties. They do not know how to handle their own thoughts, emotions, energies and their own physical body. So everything hurts.
Have we never known how to do that, or has technology and life and…
There is no we about this. Either you know or you don't know. Individual people, I'm
Well,
saying.
let's in which case let's take it down to the me then. In that, I don't want to talk about me, but me as one person. Has the fact that life has changed, it's faster, there's technology, there's phones, there's rolling news, there's things going on in the world for, we'll say me, but for anyone, how do you cope with that in your head? How does yoga help you to quieten the chaos that can be in so many people's heads?
See, when people were living in the caves, they were complaining about the bugs and the insects and the mosquitoes. And if you need a pail of water, you had to walk down to the river. Now they're complaining because the tap water is not warm enough, or they're complaining about the phone. I don't complain about my phone because I was not born with a phone as this generation is. When we were growing up, there was no phone. If we had to make a call, we had to go to the post office, stand there in a queue. And now if I'm driving, if I just say the name, it calls by itself. I'm not going to complain about that. It's an extremely positive change. The problem is not of technology. The problem is not of anything in our lives. The problem is just that at this level of intelligence and competence as human beings, being the top of the evolutionary process, you can only function consciously. If you function instinctively and compulsively like other creatures, then this intelligence is going to cause you great amount of harm to yourself and the world around you. We're talking about environment, we're talking about soil, ecology, wars, stuff. But all this is a consequence of human beings not being conscious, they are compulsive. Compulsiveness will not work at this level of competence and intelligence. You should… if you had the brain of an earthworm, you would be fine. You would be just fine and also eco-friendly.
I love it. And talking about soil, you are on a mission. Tell us about it.
See, there has been a lot of talk about environment. Everybody's talking about climate change, global warming, fossil fuel burning. Yes, all these are serious issues, I'm not questioning that at all. But a whole lot of civic issues are being projected as ecological issues or environmental issues. Right now, plastic bags are floating around in London city. This is not an ecological issue, this is a civic issue. It's a question of responsible behavior from human beings, all right? London's air is polluted. This is also a civic issue, this is not really an ecological issue. Urban issues are being projected as global issues. The entire world doesn't live in urban centers. One massive problem which everybody is avoiding talking about for whatever their own reasons, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but 71% of the world's land is under farming, all right? And that is in a super bad condition right now, to a point where UN agencies are pointing out you just have 60 to 80 harvests left, which is 45 to 55 or 60 years' time. By 2040, very clearly every responsible scientist is saying we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our populations will be well over 9 billion. That's not a world you want to live in.
So what's the answer?
That's not a world you want to leave your children in?
No.
Because you're asking for the answer because you got the point, but most people are not getting it, that's why I'm talking about their children.
Yeah.
At least there you must get it.
Yeah.
If you're insensitive about yourself, at least when you think about your children, you're a little more sensitive, I hope and believe that it is so for most human beings. Now the answer is just this. First of all, what is the problem? Why did this happen? We must understand this. If you take sand and put organic content into it, it becomes soil. If you take soil and take out all the organic content from it, it becomes sand. Now, plants are growing because of organic content, not because of chemicals. Plants' ability to take nutrients from the soil is only in exchange, a very sophisticated marketplace down there between the microbial life and the plant life, that the plant has to offer carbon sugars and then only microbial life will give them the nutrients. This today you know about your own gut microbiome, all right? Even if you eat the best food, if you do not have the necessary microbial life in your gut, you cannot get the necessary nutrients because you are just a reflection of the soil. What is happening in the first 15 to 18 inches of the soil, you are a consequence of that.
Yeah.
Even evolution-wise, you are a consequence of that activity.
Yeah.
Even now, over 60% of your body is actually microbial life, only 40% is of parental genetics. So, ignoring that, thinking you can destroy the soil and live happily upon this planet is just a pipe dream, it's not going to work.
Well, what you're doing, is you're actively working very hard to raise awareness on this issue. You've got a 100-day motorcycle journey going from London to southern India, and which is stopping along the way, obviously talking to people who hopefully will listen to you. And this is a hell of a long way, isn't it? You're bouncing all over the place.
All on a
there.
motorcycle.
No wonder it's going to take 100 days.
On a motorcycle.
Yes, on a motorcycle, but why I'm doing this is, see, I'm 65 years of age. 30,000 kilometers is not a joyride. People are thinking it's a joyride. It's not a joyride. Anybody who rides, you ask them. 30,000 kilometers on a motorcycle, it's killing. Why I'm doing this is because people are not understanding the urgency of what it is. People are thinking, any number of issues are there, one more issue. This is not one more issue.
Yeah.
By all UN agencies, the World Food Programme clearly predicts, by the time it is 2035, there'll be dozens of civil wars across the world because of food shortages.
Yeah.
And where
London
to
City
next?
right now, thousands of years of civilization, all right? 3 days, if there is no food for 50% of the people, your civilization will evaporate in 3 days' time. Your humanity will evaporate in 3 days' time.
You have no, unfortunately, because I think you've got to get off to the Indian High Commission. This 100-day motorcycle journey, inspiring the world, hopefully.
So this is mainly focused towards policy change right now.
Yep.
So we have already 6 nations in Caribbean have signed up, another 8 in the South America are signing up soon. And we are meeting mainly the heads of state and people who can influence the government, above all to move 3 to 4 billion people on the planet. Because the problem is this, in a democratic government, if people don't speak that they have long-term concerns about their nation, the governments will not move in that direction.
We have to stop, unfortunately, because you are being called. You've 2.5 billion videos last year above. You've certainly got a massive audience, and hopefully all of those people and all your new followers will be able to take part in saving the soil, saving the planet,
I can say just
the food.
5 seconds, okay?
Yep. If it's 5 seconds.
Only. The only thing that people have to do is this, these 100 days from 21st of March, everybody speak about soil on your own.
Yeah.
This is all you can do, raising your voice.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you want to get involved, it's Conscious Planet you work with, isn't it? Conscious Planet. I've been following you, Conscious Planet, learning a lot about soil. We need to leave a better future for our children. So thank you so much for coming on today.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
Well, a tragedy is unfolding. Most people will see tragedies only when it comes with a bang. But if you're sensitive, you can see it happening all around you. It's not that suddenly we thought of Save Soil movement. Last 26, 27 years we've been working on this.
So some of the world bodies, what they predict is, in another 25-30 years, India is going to face such a serious drinking water shortage. In the last 15-20 years, many small streams and rivulets that you had seen when you were children no more exist, they're just gone.
This is not a joke. This will bring untold suffering to human race, untold suffering. The way you are handling the land, in the next 15 years' time, there will be no monsoons for you. Only storms will come, huge fury of rain which will just drain the soil.
Both environmentally and otherwise, it looks like our intention is to leave a desert for our children, not a live world. It's time we did something about it. If we don't do this, there is no point being a human being. These 60 million people in Tamil Nadu, if they realize what needs to be done, just in 5 years' time you can have the whole place green.
Today, the spotlight is on a project called Green Hands in India.
We started a mass campaign and 6 years I spent planting trees in people's heads. That's the most difficult terrain, believe me. It's unfortunate that 7 lakh trees is a Guinness record. I want to see that everybody breaks the record.
$114 million trees if you plant in Tamil Nadu, 33% green cover will be there. So a time has come, if you don't fix it, there'll be nothing to fix after some time.
The planting trees thing came up essentially because we wanted to save the soil. If farmers are committing suicide, just know it's not the bank, it's the land. The land is getting weaker and weaker.
Yes, we're pumping poison into the earth like crazy. Suppose all the worms got poisoned. They died in big numbers, let's say. People will die in millions, just like that. I took thousands of people, what they're breathing out, the trees are inhaling. What the trees are exhaling, they are inhaling. Bringing this experience into people, that what you think as myself is not within the boundaries of your physical nature, it goes well beyond that. This is not a protest, nor is this an agitation. This is a campaign to raise awareness that our rivers are depleting. Everyone. When I say everyone who consumes water must rally for rivers. Why this journey? It may not happen in our lifetime, but we have to set the direction now for a solution. The water that comes down in the form of rain, we are not able to put it into the soil, mainly because there is no organic content and there's not enough trees and vegetation. If we plant these 242 crore trees, your lakes will be full, your wells will be full, above all, soil will be damp most of the year, and that is what is needed. This is why Kaveri calling. The very body that we carry is soil. Without soil being rich and well, this body and every other life cannot be well. So in terms of ecology, in terms of climate change, the most important thing is that we need to have a conscious approach as to how we manage our soil, how we rejuvenate our soil, how we revitalize our soil. Conscious Planet is launching saveSoil movement to bring about a policy change to regenerate soil. As a part of this, I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey, 30,000 kilometers across 24 nations to activate support from the citizenry to assure the governments long-term investments will be appreciated. So it's extremely important that soil regeneration is enshrined in the policy of every government on the planet. We must change the narrative on the planet that soil is a wealth, a legacy we have received from previous generations, and we have to pass it on as living soil for future generations. We are in a cusp of time. If you do the right things now, in the next 15 to 25 years, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil. But if we allow this to progress like this for another 30 to 40 years, after 40 years if we attempt this, then it could take 150 to 200 years because that much loss of biodiversity would have happened. From 21st of March for 100 days, the whole world, every human being on the planet should talk soil. So we must hear the word soil, save soil everywhere to see that the narrative on the planet changes towards the most vital aspect of our life, the soil. Each one of you should reach as many people as you can to make this happen. Many global leaders and influencers are already participating in the movement. Be a part of this and let us make it happen.
From my part, as much as I can contribute.
We're going to save the soil. Do your part.
And saving the soils.
Our future, our children's future, and our planet's future depend on it.
Save the soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
La 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 la.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Soil body. magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
In Tamil language, we refer to the soil as Thai Mannu, that means mother soil.
Genetic material in your system, it will get weaker if the soil gets weak.
20 years' time, they're saying 40% of India's land will be non-cultivable. So protecting the soil and water for the future generations of this land is the most important thing. In Tamil language, we refer to the soil as Thai Mannu, that means mother soil, because there's a deep understanding in the culture that this is the mother, because it is from this we are born. Our biological mother is only representative. The real mother is here. It is the soil that we carry as my body. But it has become so in the world that we have started referring to soil as dirt.
See, you call this dirt because you think it's something. But I'm telling you, this soil is so intelligent. Did it ever so happen that you put an apple seed and a pear came out by mistake, the soil made a mistake? Did it ever so happen? Such a thing never happened, isn't it? It is the same soil which is turning into apple, it is the same soil which is turning into a pear, but such a mistake never happened. So do not underestimate the intelligence of life. Do not think the madness that's going on in your bone box is the only intelligence, that's the lowest form of intelligence. Everything else in the existence is super intelligent, isn't it so? Life is intelligence, isn't it so? The very air that you breathe, there is a phenomenal amount of intelligence in it.
These days, the modern mothers, if children go and put their hands in the soil and come, they say, your hands are dirty. No, they're not dirty. You are touching the source of your life. When you mistake the source of your life for dirt, the chances of you putting your roots down and the chances of you growing to your full size and capability, the chances of you seeing flower and fruit are remote, isn't it? If the tree thought that my roots are getting dirty, there would be neither flower nor fruit. The tree understands, when it sinks its roots into the earth, it knows this is the source of its life. But we, the most intelligent species on the planet, are not able to feel this. This is a source of many problems that human beings are experiencing right now. Forget about enlightenment, forget about seeing other dimensions of life, they're not even able to be healthy, which every creature is able to do quite effortlessly, because they cannot sink their roots into this earth, because somewhere in their mind, it's become dirt. Actually, one of the things that we used to do, if somebody's in ill health, what we would do is, we will bury him till here in a certain type of soil. Just keep him there for a few hours every day. You will see the whole system will reorganize itself so beautifully, and they will come out of their ailments. Today this burying is considered archaic, so we give them mud bath, just a thin layer of earth. But if you just stay into the earth, this is the reason why all the yogis, mystics anywhere always went into mountain caves, because they want to be in the cocoon of the earth. They want to feel the planet, because without that your own system doesn't function at its full capacity. Because your body is not any different from the planet itself, it's just a piece which has popped up, isn't it? There is enough scientific study to today tell you, your body and my body, how strong it is, not just of muscular strength, essential strength in the body of our existence. This is determined by the kind of soil not only that you eat from, the kind of soil that you walk upon. The genetic material in your system, it will get weaker if the soil gets weak. The moment you make the next generation less than who we are, we have committed a crime against humanity. The nutrients in the soil, the organic content in the soil is going down dramatically because there is no way to put it back. The only way you could improve the organic content in the soil is the leaves of the trees and the animal waste. Trees, we have taken them out long time ago. Now we are slaughtering all the animals and exporting it to other nations. With this, there is nothing to put back into the soil. It is estimated in the next 5 years, 25% of India's land will be in the process of desertification, that is, nothing can be cultivated, it's not cultivable. In the next 20 years' time, they're saying 40% of India's land will be non-cultivable. In the next 40 years' time, they're saying 60% of India's land will be non-cultivable. At this rate, with 1.25 billion population on our hands, we must think, what will be the state of this country when we can't give the needed water for people and the necessary food that we grow. For this, the most important thing… See, right now, farmer suicides have gone to an alarming level. In 12 years, over 300,000 farmers have committed suicide. The explanation we are always giving is, because the tomato prices dropped, he committed suicide. Because he could not pay bank installment, he committed suicide. I want you to understand this. If you want to do farming, you need rich soil and abundant water. The soil has lost its richness and water is scarce. Farming is a heartbreaking activity. Nobody will want to continue this after some time. So protecting the soil and water for the future generations of this land is the most important thing.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen. If any other species had done the kind of damage that we are doing to the planet, we would have definitely found a way how to exterminate them. Right now, ecological issues are no more tomorrow's issues. It is today's problem. We want to get 3 billion people on board that ecological issues must become the issues which elect governments in the world. Right now, there is only one problem on this planet, that is the human being. So, if any other species had done the kind of damage that we are doing to the planet, suppose let us say 1 trillion locusts landed from Mars and started destroying this planet, we would have definitely found a way how to exterminate them, how to gas them, how to poison them, how to ensure that every one of them is dead. Yes or no? We would have done that. But now it is us. We cannot exterminate ourselves, the only way is to transform. So what is our problem? Because as the evolutionary process goes, we are the peak of evolution on this planet, highest level of intelligence. But why highest level of intelligence has become the most serious problem? What is your understanding of intelligence? That intelligence is a solution or intelligence is a problem? Hello? If it's a solution, it is not manifested that way because human beings are essentially in compulsive, unconscious action. That's all our problem is. So, we need to create a conscious planet. Right now, ecological issues are no more tomorrow's issues. It is today's problem. All these days we thought it is tomorrow's problem, next generation will suffer, so we have to do something. It was an act of compassion for them, empathy for them. No, now it is an act of survival. It is very clear from many parameters, in let's say 15 to 20 years, we don't do anything significant, then the problems that we will face are of the size and nature that we have never seen before. I don't want to go into all the dreadful things, but as there is a problem, there is a solution. So if we are conscious, we would naturally be solution. If we are unconscious, we have become a problem. As a part of this, right now if you look at the ecological awareness in the world, it's just a small layer of people. That too, for most people, their idea of ecology is, I use less water, I turned off the tap when I was brushing my teeth. It is good that you are conscious about that is a nice thing from your side. It is sweet of you to use less water, but that is not a solution.
And for over 95% of the population, they're not even aware of it. So right now we are working with United Nations agencies and I put this across to them. Last few months these meetings have gone on and very nice engagement and they are all fully on board for this. What we are trying to do right now is divide the world into latitudinal segments because they are of different nature, like equatorial region, tropical region, subtropical region, temperate, Arctic, Antarctic, like this. All the countries which come in this specific region, let's say tropical region, what is it? What are the simple 5 things that must happen in all the nations which are in tropical region, and what are the 2, 3 things that should never happen? Right now, the kind of stuff that is out there is all PhD stuff, nobody understands what the hell it is. It is too complex. So right now we are working with the UNCCC, that is UN Agency to Combat Climate Change, to reduce this into simple 5 points that everybody can understand. 5 things that must happen in your country, 2 to 3 things that should never happen in your country. There are 5.26 billion people on the planet who have a franchise. That means they have the ability to vote and elect the leadership of that nation. Out of this, we are seeing how to touch 3 billion people on the planet must know these 5 things that must happen in their country wherever they are living, and 2 to 3 things that should not happen. As a part of this, we are building up for a major event in 2021. And a new foundation has been formed as Conscious Planet. We want to get 3 billion people on board that ecological issues must become the issues which elect governments in the world. Right now, your election is coming, you will see they will be talking about economy, the oil prices, healthcare, all these things you can discuss as election issues because political parties in the world, when they make their manifestos, what is it that they stand for? We want at least the number 2 item to be ecology. Without this happening, there will be no budgets, there will be no intention, there will be only talk. Only when it's in government policy and there are budgets, large budgets behind it, solutions will manifest. If we make 3 billion people conscious that these are the 5 things that must happen in our country, wherever they are, then it'll become an election issue. So, we are driving towards this with this new foundation. We want all of you to be a part of it, and everybody who breathes and drinks water and eats food on this planet should become a part of it. There is a lead time of a little over a year. In 2021, this will happen. We will launch this somewhere and there'll be some major events. But before that, we want to build up a massive support on the planet. It is not about we doing something because I do something, you do something, this is not good enough. The governments in the world have to do something big. Only then there is a real solution. Otherwise, we are doing small things for satisfaction. Right now, Rally for Rivers and Kaveri calling is a real thing because it's become part of the policy and there's budget behind it. Only then it's a real thing. Otherwise, I can go on talking about it, you can go on talking about it. We are not doing this for our satisfaction. This is for a solution. If a solution has to come, the ruling governments in the world must have this as a part of their agenda. That will only happen in a democratic country if at least 60% of the population wishes it. So this is why we are thinking of 3 billion people across the world. If 3 billion people say, these 5 things must happen in my country, it will become an election issue, it will find budgets, it will become the policy of that nation, and solutions will begin to happen, okay? Please be a part of it in whichever way you can.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.